My name is Patrick Ezaga. I am the Director of Communications at the Deposit Protection Fund of Uganda. Deposit Protection Fund of Uganda, DPF as we know it, is an agency of the government of Uganda that was established primarily to provide protection to depositors in the event that their financial institution unfortunately goes under. And one of our primary mandates is to enhance and increase public awareness about the existence of this agency, but more importantly, to contribute to the stability of the financial sector by letting depositors know that if anything were to go wrong with their financial institution, the DPF is on hand to come and protect. We provide a protection limit of up to 10 million Uganda shillings per depositor per account, but those above 10 million should not worry. Should anything also happen, any amount above that is usually taken care of after the liquidation process. I am very proud to be in Lira City today for what I think is one of our most critical milestones in terms of enhancing public awareness. We are in Lira City for an engagement with the media for the entire sub-region, and it's pleasing to note that we had a 95% turn-up rate. But why the media? As it is common knowledge that the media plays a very critical role in reaching out to the masses. And over time, we realized as DPF that as we go around undertaking our public awareness, it has come out clearly that the very people who are supposed to be our foot soldiers and support us in disseminating information, and that is the media practitioners themselves, we noticed a skill gap, we noticed an information gap. So the media engagement that was organized in Lira City for the Lao sub-region was primarily intended to first of all give the media practitioners in this region an opportunity to hear from the horse. So we came on ground basically to share with them the basic information about deposit protection and what the DPF does, but we also use this as an opportunity to get feedback from them. One of the key feedbacks we have received, for instance, is that as we review the protection limit this year, the media fraternity here is asking that if it is possible, government should consider prorating this protection limit rather than having a standardized. But as DPF, this is feedback we receive from the public, and we'll prepare the information as part of the review and share it with the stakeholders for onward processing in terms of decision making. So as we go around creating the public awareness, we are proud to say that this engagement in Lira has been very useful. It is one of those that is our pipeline activities. After here, we intend to reach every region. The other thing that is important to note is that we are moving to translate our messages. We are going to translate the DPF message to all the major languages, local languages in the country, in order to enable the journalists themselves trickle down this information to the rest of the people who are our primary target, the less sophisticated depositors, those below the pyramid. So as we speak, I think it has been very useful in terms of an exchange, because I could tell in terms of my finding that quite a proportion of the journalists here had heard about the DPF. So in terms of awareness, they may have heard, but they had actually not appreciated what the function is. So as DPF, I am particularly happy that this has not been an in-vain engagement. I have seen that the journalists themselves have appreciated that they have now moved from just being aware about DPF to appreciating exactly what DPF does. And that is exactly what we wanted to achieve. I now trust that after this engagement, the journalists themselves, the reporters and the media members will be empowered enough to speak with authority about what DPF does.
My name is Ezaga for Adventist World Radio Network. So many things have been shared with us, but I have this question. Are there plans to review or maybe adjust the coverage limit from 10 million?
Actually a question, but it is like a request. I'd like to appreciate the DPF for this kind of information today I've gathered. My request, if possible, at least as a radio manager, and today you have been able to pick the real people who can even separate this message back to the community. My request, if possible, please, if you can facilitate us through spot messages and the radio talk show as you have mentioned, I think we better pick it up so that the information can be about to our community people. Thank you so much.
As we speak, we are translating our messages. So the DPF message is going to come to your radio stations in Lao, you get. So that even the adverts we run, we shall be running them in what? in the language that the local people can. So that is the time when we shall come and take out adverts and run adverts.
It should interest you that I'm one of those who used to fear taking my money to the bank, because I keep asking, what if the bank collapses? Even if it's only 100,000, because when it collapses, that means you lose it. Today, I'm happy that you have contributed to the body of my knowledge, and rest assured, I'm taking on the right message.
I would advise that if the resources allows, maybe if it had not been there, but in the next plan, if it is, in case it is not there, I gave the disclaimer.
Yes.
If it is not there, I would advise that we consider transcribing some of these wonderful messages. I can read there to foster public confidence through protection of deposits and institution regulated by Bank of Uganda. If you could transcribe this in that language, and you have those procures spread within the local communities. Of course, you will be doing the same in Uganda. The same thing you will be doing in Teso, in Lab Teso, and one now in Lebanon, if this thing can provide.
If you look at the accounts people own in these commercial banks, they're of many types. Let's look at the current account being held by the companies. You find a company, let's say Unity FM, that has 40 employees, and then its bank closes, and then the DPF gives them only 10 million. That would not be really fair. So we would recommend that if DPF could sit down with the Ministry of Finance and then the central bank, and then the limits for companies is separate from the limit from these other common personal servers. This will really save our economy, because just one company collapsing, it means so many other families is also going to face it rough. So I think it's unfair to treat companies' account as the same as the individual savings account. Thank you.
It may be time for us to start prorating the protected limit depending on the account clusters. I think it makes a lot of sense, because that has not been the case. Previously has been anybody keeping money in the financial institution is seen as a depositor, company, joint, whatever. But I picked that up. As I say, you are an important cluster of feedback. So that's one of the issues we'll raise. That as we review the 10 million, even if it makes 10 million because you already cover 98%, can it be adjusted for a certain category X? I think that's very powerful. It makes sense because companies by their nature will tend to have more than 10 million because salaries are there. You know how it is. And as you rightly said, if we just give you 10 million, the owner will not even tell you that we have paid.
So one of the key things that we go around encouraging depositors to do is to ensure that at any one time, their personal information with their financial institution is up to date. This is critical because in the unlikely event that a financial institution is closed, that is the information that as DPF we use to ensure that all depositors are paid up to their protected limits. But as it is, you will find that as time goes, some of the particulars and information about depositors change. For instance, people change telephone numbers, okay? Others have alternative bank accounts. So every financial institution that falls under the ambit and the regulation of the central bank has a DPF form. In that form, we request depositors to ensure that your information is up to date 24/7 at any time. The problem and the challenge we see is that it's a typical nature of Ugandans, I must say, that we tend to rush at the last minute. When there is a problem, then there is a mad dash. But in peace times, it's the best time to ensure that the things that you can do comfortably, without pressure, do them. There is no harm in walking to your financial institution and saying, oh, by the way, this telephone number I had has changed. Please update my record because this is now what I have. So we encourage depositors to ensure that their information, primary information with their financial institution is up to date, because that is the information that the financial institutions share with the DPF, so that should we need to use it, we have your records on hand. In the absence of up-to-date information, we will not be able to pay you because we cannot verify that you are the actual recipient. So to make the process easy, in peace times, take a moment, please update your records with your financial institution because you never know when the time comes and there is a need, we come in and use that to pay you on time. 5 years ago in 2019, the protected limit was 3 million. Now it's 2024. It is going to be reviewed. We have initiated the process of reviewing, and this reviewing of the protected limit goes through standardized processes. One of them is platforms of this nature like we have had with the media. So what happens is that this year, the DPF will compile our findings and make recommendations to the line ministry and eventually to the regulated body, the parliament, on whether there is a need to revive the 10 million shillings or not. So the process of the review is ongoing using our various channels that we have set in place.